Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's edition of the 5D Deep Dive. We're December 3rd. We're very happy to be here with all of you, so thank you for joining us. This will be our part 3 of the Pluto and Aquarius series, and we're very excited to share that with you because I feel like it's opening up a lot of information, sacred knowledge, that is helping us into creating the best timelines for us, for humanity, but also peek into the future so that we can manifest the very best for ourselves right now. So I'm Julie from Maison Jupiter, of course, and I'm here with my amazing sister, Sophie, which is going to be our oracle for today's show. Hi, Sophie, how are you?
Hi, I'm really happy to be here. Thank you so much, like you said, to join us in this. I'm always pleasantly surprised to see all of the beautiful comments. So we read them and we really appreciate every single one of them. So thank you so much.
Yes, so true. So piggybacking on what you just said, thank you for your support. We appreciate it so much. So do make sure you give us a like and you comment down below. And also you can share this video with people that you think should appreciate it. And we're trying to, let's say, open up some fresh possibilities so that we can create a better reality, because the content you watch is helping shape your reality, of course. And right here, if you'd like to also ask your question, you can join the free community. This is the Maison Jupiter community. And we have a beautiful group of human beings. So thank you so much, guys, for being part of that community. And every week when we prepare those shows, I go there and I look at your comments, questions, and I pick a lot of them from the community. So if you'd like to also participate in sending us your suggestions for deep dives, but also for the 5D news show on Thursday night, please join us over there. And of course, we are simulcasting the show on our YouTube channel right over here, where we just launched recently the December 2024 Astro and Tarot predictions for the 12 zodiac signs. So that's an interesting one if you haven't seen it already. And we have a lot of interesting shows here for you guys. And also we are simulcasting on our Rumble channel. So thank you for joining us. And before we start with the question, I just have a last announcement. So we are launching something very special for the holidays, and we're very excited about this one. So we're trying something new. Sophie, do you want to explain what this reading is?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a 30 minutes pre-record. So this is going to be on your own terms. You can re-listen to it many, many times. It's going to be your reading that is pre-recorded specifically for your question. And this one is about your 2025 prediction. So in this video, what I'm going to be looking at is what is ahead of you, what is coming up in 2025 specifically for you. And like I said, you can rewatch it along the year. You can see what is coming up each month. So I'm really excited about this, and let us know if you like this type of reading, because this is something that I feel is going to add up a lot of value to your readings when you can re-listen to them and really make sure that you catch up every little card and every little message that was there for you.
Yeah, it's so true. And I feel like a lot of people are looking at what are going to be the major themes for them. So this is what you're going to do here with the tarot cards and the oracle cards and their own special video. And as we're launching this, we have a very special promo, which is 20% off. So it comes out very, very affordable. So $99, that is US dollars. So, and that promo is going to be until December 31st only, because Sophie's going to be very busy producing those videos for each and every one of you guys. And we have between a 1 week to 2 weeks delay in sending you the private video link so you can watch and rewatch your own predictions for 2025. So that being said, let's start the questions if you're ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we left off talking about special psychic abilities. Also, now we're going to talk about the new souls coming in. And we know that, like a lot of us, I think, noticed that the new souls coming in are very special, very talented. They have very special psychic abilities. They have a really high emotional intelligence. This is what I'm personally noticing. And a lot of them like are really, let's say, sensitive in different ways that we couldn't even tap into if we wanted to, or we would have a lot of spiritual work to do for our generation to be as sensitive and open hearted as they are. So I'd like to ask the first card for these new souls coming in during the Pluto in Aquarius generation, because also Pluto in astrology determines the generations. So for example, Sophie and I are in the Pluto and Scorpio generation, and every generation is between, let's say, 11 and 20 years, depending, because Pluto has an elliptic orbit. So some are longer than others. But nonetheless, they give like a general, let's say, energy or frequency to this generation, and special gifts and special healing gift also Pluto that this generation will have to deconstruct first, Pluto, but also help rebuild after. So for the Pluto in Aquarius generation of the new souls, what will be the psychic abilities or special abilities of these new souls that are born during Pluto in Aquarius?
Okay.
So what are the psychic abilities, special abilities of these souls?
So there's a lot of purge that this generation will have to do first. Okay. So I'm saying this because the cards that I have, I'm going to explain. We have a third party, and it's like a pyramid shape at the top also. And we have the shadow side. Is it? Yeah, shadow side that is there. We have the pyramid again. And then we have this twin flame fire, and we have the public enemy. So I don't think that they are going to fit well with whoever is already on Earth mainly. So they're not going to fit well with a lot of people that are not the same generation. They're going to change a lot of things, and they're going to be a catalyst for a lot of change. They're going to channel a lot, because those two cards of pyramids are basically being able to reach out higher level of connection. They're able to connect with something that it takes for us a lot of gift and talent and practice. But for them, it's really easy. Not all of them. I'm saying this because it will depend on how they are raised and what is programmed in them. Okay. So just like a lot of generations before them, if you have gifts, sometimes programming can tone it down, but they are starting really far ahead of a lot of past generation, and they have a greater possibility of accessing all of those things more naturally. So programming may not work fully on them, and that's probably why they're not fitting well on with the population. But there will be exception where the programming will work. There will be exception. So also there is this very big card of the twin flame here. We know that Aquarius is the merging of the masculine and the feminine. So I'm not really surprised to see this. I think that they are going to embody that kind of frequency where they are fulfilled and they are connected with their soul, with somebody else here or elsewhere. And that kind of, we don't need that kind of commitment with marriage and other stuff as much, because we're feeling connected already.
It's so interesting that you talk about like the pyramid and how they're going to experience like a higher level of connectivity, but that's also through their relationship, their loving relationship. So they're really going to be able to share openly and connect with other people with like an open heart, is what I'm getting from your cards, if that makes sense.
And we hear so much about the 5D, when are we going to be in the 5D and everything. And there's a lot of people talking about this very different ways. I feel that in a sense, they are the one that are already in the 5D. Why? It's because they are connected a lot more on a plane that is not physical with a lot of other souls, with source. So this is good. But yeah, the purge, the shadow side is there. Like I said, they're going to be a big tower energy, just like usually with others. So they're going to trigger, because if you don't know, Julie has this kind of a big energy of tower where she is triggering people sometimes around her, correct?
Yeah, I have that in my tarot numerology as my life mission card. So yes, sometimes I come into a lot of people's lives to deconstruct or help them awaken. And sometimes my role is long term, but oftentimes it's like bang, and then I'm leaving to another mission. So this is a really hard life mission or role into other people, because it's easy also to take personal that you're like, oh, everybody abandons me. But it's also because those karmic relationships have a specific timeline and a specific duration also sometimes.
But as I'm really close to you, I'm your sister, and as much as it triggered me, when you're willing to do the work on yourself and get better, this is the best person you can have by your side.
Aww.
So it's true. I love it because you help me to grow, and that generation is going to do this for the rest of the world.
Wow. So big mission there. I hope these souls are ready. And can we ask also, what's the main difference between the souls that were born during the Pluto and Capricorn generation? So the generation just that, like since, let's say a few months ago, there were still babies being born into that generation for the last, I believe it's 14 years, if I'm not mistaken. So what's the main difference between the souls born into Pluto and Capricorn and Pluto and Aquarius generations?
So it's funny because the first card is discipline, and Capricorn is about discipline a lot, in my view, at least. In my view, the Capricorn is like determined and really, really want to stay strong in one path. And the first card here is the discipline, very Saturn energy. We have the card of Charade. We do have the card of this pretty lady right there. We have boundaries, which is very similar energy as Saturn energy with Capricorn here. And we have the divine feminine. So they are here to kind of slow down the process of what the big Capricorn era was about, and to start entering and questioning, what do we want to do with other energy? In this case, it's the divine feminine energy. We have those two women right there, where before, the card that you may have missed is this one. The man was leading. The man was just, and it is in a suit. So that's very Capricorn energy. The people born under the influence of Pluto and Capricorn were there to question the establishment of things, the systems. And they were there to say, we're not comfortable in this anymore. And they were there to shake things up in this, in a lot of different aspects. So their mission was to basically not fit in with what was there, to question everything and to try to shake things up.
Well, that's very much in line with the astrology, because of course Capricorn represents the big structures, the pyramidal, top-down authority type of structures. So, and Pluto is the big rebel. So wherever Pluto is in your chart, it represents something that you have to, first of all, break down, question, and also like revolutionize in some kind of way, not personally, but throughout the generation of people that are born in that. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So they were here to initiate this big, let's say, re-questioning of our society's organization. And then the Aquarius also rules structures, society and organization, but is doing it in a much more freedom-loving type of way. So I guess those people are here to more rebuild. Does that make sense? Rebuild with more connectivity, with more let's say, respect and exchange, let's say, a fair exchange of energy with one another. If that does that make sense?
Yeah. So basically, the work of the people born under Pluto and Aquarius will not be possible if the people under Pluto and Capricorn are not starting this
Yeah.
process. So they are basically being a kind of a little bit of the bodyguard of the people who have Pluto in Aquarius, because they're entering first and they're like, wow, I'm really not comfortable in this world. We need to change things. And we're going to be the one to say it's not working out. Just like the first child in the family, we're like, no, it's not working out for me. And the second child can come in and says like, yeah, it's not working out. Let's do something else. But the rules have been broken down.
Yeah.
So the Aquarius is, the Pluto under Aquarius is already have a lot of work that is done, but they're going to reestablish things, like you said, reconstruct things, but push it even further and really, really tests a lot of people who are not used to this.
Okay, I just have a question who just came in. So in Dolores Cannon's work, she talks about, especially in her book, which is called, oh wow, I'm gonna mess this up because every time we're live and I'm trying to think about a title, it's like the 3 waves of volunteers. Yeah, okay, so I'm okay. Can we say, and can we pull cards on that? Can we say that the 3rd wave of starseed volunteers that came here to, let's say, usher in the 5D or Age of Aquarius, whatever you want to call it, can we say that the 3rd wave is associated with the Pluto and Capricorn and Pluto and Aquarius souls?
What's that? It says yes, but they're doing it together. So without one or the other, the work would not be done. So they are really here to complete each other. And again, we have that couple. So it's a union of those two.
I love it. And both, they share one of the rulers, which is Saturn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and the traditional ruler of Aquarius is Saturn. So they have they work really well together, especially if they're oriented toward soul growth and collective growth. So
yeah,
wow.
Just the final card on this was the card of 7 days leave. And I'm not super religious because I'm from Quebec, but the 7 days, we know that in the Bible it was created in 7 days.
Not in 6 days, or this?
No, the 7 days it took like the day off, so it's technically 6 days, but 7 days.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So that symbol is that those two are going to together be able to recreate the new Earth.
Oh, wow. That's really positive. I love it. And it's crazy how the cards are in line with the astrology. Let us know in the comments also if you had downloads or thoughts you'd like to share. We love when you guys comment because you bring such interesting points to the show. Thank you so much. Okay, our next topic is going to be social media and internet. And I feel like it's going to be one of the main themes that we see a lot of changes throughout the Pluto and Aquarius era, because Aquarius rules social media, it rules networks, it rules how people connect together, and it also rules internet and technology. So it's very much connected to social media and internet. So first question for the cards would be, how will our social media change? Some people are saying that there's going to be a bunch of new ones, or just like a revamp of some. So let's see what the cards have to say.
So the values are going to change big time with the social media. The cards that I'm having are about healing, unconditional, indigo starseed, muse, big dreams, revelation. Those cards are really, really positive. I have a ton, so that's why I'm not showing them, but I have a ton of positive. So some of them are very, very beautiful. So how I'm seeing this, it's that we're going to shift the mentality of where before we were, in competitions. We were trying to be the best, show off, and blah, blah, blah,
Mm-hmm.
to really unite and try to inspire each other and to have this healthier way of dealing with society and how we are showing up in the internet. So people who have, I would say, lower frequency around this, we have this card of karmic, and those people will have probably a harder time to be online. Let me see. Yeah, 9 of swords. They're going to feel like it's maybe not giving them as much attention as previously. So we have the hangman, as I'm seeing this underneath the deck. There is a change of perspective, and we have the 2 of cups. Change of perspective on how we're going to show up online. It's going to be with the intent of merging together, and the intent of, I'm there to help you, and see, this is my friend, she's doing cooking or whatever. And it's not going to be, I'm the best and showing up in front of a race car or anything.
Okay. And can we say that like the social media platforms that we have right now are going to be used differently, or are we saying that there are going to be lots of changes with the platforms themselves?
I think there is going to be new ones, to be honest. We have the full moon showing up right there. And this is the closing of a chapter, and we have the star. So this is very much showing you a new way. Could even be the logo or the name of the new one, by the way, because it's very aligned with the values that they want to promote. And we have the crossroads, so people will try to stay on old platforms, showing up old energy of, I'm the best.
I live a perfect life. Look at me.
Yeah. And maybe people like you and I were more like, we can mess up words, we're not perfect, like we have things going on, are going to be more someone that is promoted in the sense of having more people saying, yeah, I resonate with this. I'm not perfect. I'm not having the best life. I love my life. I love people around me, but I'm not showing up just like this unhealthy image of perfection and just this illusion of luxury and the old values. This is going to shift a lot, and it's going to be helpful for people who are growing up watching this.
Wow. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw a 2 of Cups card, or is it like a relationship card? Because that made me think about how I've had friends in the past who were having, like, let's say, relationship issues, but the way they were trying to portray their relationships online was like everybody thought they were living the dream and everything was so perfect. And then we learned, let's say, a few months later that, oh, they broke up, like, and he was being, let's say, for example, violent, or they had like really deep issues, and we're like, wow, and nobody knew, and we had the complete opposite perception. So I'm thinking that also relationship is probably a big part of, like, let's say, trying to appear a certain way, and also that gives, let's say, the younger generation a false, let's say, image to look up to, where like they think, oh, this is having a happy relationship looks like that, where in fact it's probably not even true. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that makes me I just watched a video, I think 2 days ago. That's how my guides work. They just show me random things, and then the next day I'm using it, about a psychologist that was talking about this for celebrities, how people were gaslighted because people were saying, I don't think that relationship for that couple of celebs is working out. And then a month later, they're saying, like, we're going to divorce. But all the relationship, they were like, no, we're happy and sharing beautiful pictures and blah, blah, blah. So that is going to shift also with the celebrities. It's going not just for the everyday person, but also for the celebrities, how they show up in this light of perfect.
Yeah.
I think it's going to shift a lot and be really more authentic and raw. And we're going to see what is truly going on. Not that it's our business anyway, but they're not going to show this perfect image when they're sharing something about their life.
Okay, so that leads me to my next question. What are the next influencers slash celebrities? What are they going to be valued for? So in the past, we've had like the Kim K tribe, where like they were valued because of their lifestyle. So of course, we're moving away from that, as I can see. So, but what is going to make them, let's say, attractive to the public or magnetizing?
So the card of destruction is there twice, by the way. We do have the card of destruction. So completely changing from the past. We're not going to have at all the same value. We're going to value people who are trying to get better and sharing how they are doing it. It says divine masculine, and we have this fresh start. So how to be in a healthy body, emotion, how to be in a healthy relationship. And it's not just about the divine feminine, it's about how to be who you are in a healthy way possible. And we do have soulmate. So showing up with people, your tribe, because it's not just romantic, showing up with your partner and trying to, it says, release all of the fears and all of the negativity. So overall, what that means for the next celebrities, it means that they're just going to be really authentic. And the more they share about their struggle and how they do it to get up and to start over, it's not going to be the old ways where they were trying to use substances to numb it and to show up as perfect. It's going to be how I am right now, and this is what I'm going through, and this is what I'm doing to get better.
Wow. Well, I can't wait for that. That makes a lot of sense too. Since like Age of Aquarius is more about knowledge and also about sharing information and sacred knowledge. So that makes a lot of sense. And I feel like we've got a lot of, let's say, sacred relationship cards since we started this series from Pluto in Aquarius. So I feel like relationships, sacred relationships seem to be like a really important topic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, next question. Will we see a new version of internet?
I think so. The cards are really intense. I'm just going to show them, and I will take the second row. It says, love me or leave me. We have despair. We have false person. We have exit. We have the fox, so cunning and suspicion. And we have haunted. So I'm going to take tarot card, but do you have like an instant with those so far?
Yeah. But maybe that's for a subsequent question. But I was thinking about like maybe how, like, you see, like internet is such like a superimposed grid superimposed on the earth. I'm like, maybe it's being hijacked at the moment. I don't know. This is kind of what I was getting from the fox card, or there's something like not pure about it that needs to be purged maybe.
Yeah. So what I'm getting is very negative card as well. Underneath with the tarot cards, we have the Lover, the Five of Swords, and we have the Nine of Pentacles. So I think it's not the web per se. It's all of the news and everything that we can find on the web. So I think that what is going to happen first is, again, we start with a purge. We have to, because Pluto is starting with removal of the bad first to build after. And we can see here that there's a lot of false information, a lot of big, like you said, a grid of darkness, a grid of sadness, a grid of just lowering your frequency, and to be everywhere. So anywhere almost that you can go online is going to be that lower frequency. So to remove that kind of thing, and I think it will start with the information that you can find and how we communicate to each other, the words that is being, the images, the subconscious things. We're going to start to see uplifting energy there instead of lowering frequency.
And also I'm thinking about like the actual devices that we use to be connected to internet. A lot of them emit very harsh frequencies for the body.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking about that too, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. It's going to be changed completely. So it's blue, the top of it, and it's the Four of Swords. And this kind of device that you're talking about, we have this blue light, and it's blocking your capacity to relax and recharge and sleep well, over many other stuff, of course. But it's done. We're going to change completely what we are using. It's just not going to be the first day. We have the slowest card in the deck reverse, so the Knight of Pentacles. But over time, this device is not going to be used anymore. And we're going to look back and say, wow, we were really controlled.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. And that backs up a lot of psychic people, astrologer that I've been following on this topic, and that we're saying exactly the same thing. So I think this is going to be also a fast-paced 20 years where a lot of new technologies, new breakthroughs are going to come in, especially towards social media and internet. Okay, last questions in the same topic. I feel like since we've had the social media, internet, it's kind of been of a paradox where we can connect even more with people from all across the globe. But at the same time, it's the age where people have never felt that alone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, since Aquarius rules more the mind than the heart, and also new technologies and connectivity through internet, are we going to see people feel less alone or more connected throughout Pluto in Aquarius? And also Aquarius represents social groups, also being social, having networks, acquaintances, friends.
So the second card is teamwork. So I think people are going to feel less alone. People are going to connect more. But again, we have this card of muse and we have the card of big dreams, so inspiration. How we connect with each other is going to be way different. So even though we may stay connected more by online, you are going to feel like you have more of a tribe because it's more of a, I inspire you, you connect with me, so we work a little bit together. It doesn't have to be work for money, but it could just be like, I'm painting, you are sculpting, we're doing something together, hi, it's fun, and then we continue with somebody else, okay? So it could just be that kind of a, I worked last week with a guy in Italy. He did something for my cards, and then I'm going to continue with blah, 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 this other person. We're going to have kind of a, yes, online, but more profound connection than just like what is really not satisfying online right now about this meaningless, how are you? And that's it, you know?
So, and I saw some more creativity from the cards.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So boosting the creativity and what we can achieve together when we tap into our creative energy.
Yeah. Does that make sense with Aquarius?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Aquarius is also thinking outside the box, finding new solutions to problems that already exist, but with like a whole other perception. And I believe it was Einstein that said, like, he cannot find a solution to a problem within the same level of consciousness. So you need to first upgrade your frequency before you can solve an issue. And that's, I think, what this era is going to bring.
Okay.
So lots of creativity in that sense, in the sense that we're going to think outside the box and release a lot of our creative intelligence. Okay, we just talked about communities, soul tribe. So can we ask the cards, will most people find their soul tribe?
It's going to be a process. I mean, getting the card of numbing and karmic, it's going to be a process, especially for the people who are already on Earth and not the newer generation that are going to come. We do have more of inner soul plan. We have more of a challenge to know who is good for us and to connect with the right people. So we still have to choose a lot of, I need to work on myself, I need to align, I need to move to the right place that aligns with my energy, I need to find my passion and that kind of stuff that is up to your free will. But this is inner soul contract. The generation after, the generation that is currently being born, they're going to attract naturally, who is their tribe. We have the friendship and solidarity right there. We have the mice that is talking about destruction. So I'm still seeing this as very positive because it's in the middle of loyalty and in the middle of guardian. So I think this is just removal of obstacles in the way that those obstacles that we have, us, this generation being currently here.
Well, that makes a lot of sense where you're saying that it's not just about finding the people who you resonate with. Yes, but at the same time, it's a process because if, let's say, you're not tapping into your true essence, how can you find your true soul tribe? So you have like a process of releasing what is not you, I guess, finding like connecting even more with who you are at your core before we are able to really find those soul tribes, if that really makes sense.
Absolutely, because your light is not shining the greatest when you're just working in a job that doesn't motivate you and then going to watch TV and going to sleep. You're not going to emanate that kind of vibration that is going to call in your tribe. You need to at least take a little time out of each week to do something that really brings a passion so you can vibrate to this vibration of who you are to your core.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. And we talked a lot about timeline shift recently. So if you don't know what we're talking about, just go back in the previous episodes, the part 1 and 2 of Pluto in Aquarius. So we talk a lot about that. That seems to be like a major theme here. So regarding relationships, friendships, can we say that we're going to see a lot of our old friends disappear from our reality as the timeline shift, and let's say maybe those timelines move further apart? Is it like a general tendency that we're going to see?
Yes, even more tension is going to grow, and because you're changing. So a lot of tensions with the people who are not supposed to be there is going to come up. So we have this full moon. This is the cycle completion. We have, again, that card of shadow side. We have the card of concern. Do you see how dark they are? They're really black and white. It's like very dark. And again, the tension, animosity with the whip. So again, it's just who is not meant to stay is not going to stay. You're changing, but take this as a good sign because it says basically that you are in the way to meet who you truly are and the people who truly resonate with you.
That makes so much sense. Okay, what will be the importance of friendships and communities in the Pluto and Aquarius transit? Because we know that Aquarius rules social groups, it rules friendships, rules networks, communities. So I'm guessing that it's going to be very important, but I'd like to know what the cards have to say. No.
It's going to be really different. You're not going to attach that much importance to keeping the same relationship alone. So it's really weird. The cards are saying that we attach a lot of importance to relationship because of our ego somehow. But it says that
for validation, external validation.
Yeah, probably. And because a lot of people are not really happy in their life, so they do need this. Absolutely. But in the future, it's going to be more of a, we are all in this together. And sometimes I'm going to want to see this person, and sometimes you're going to want to see this person. So we're going to be more connecting all together, but less connected like, oh, thank you, you're there, and I love you, and stay in my life, like this.
Yeah, less codependent.
Yeah.
relationship. And that makes perfect sense because you're talking about the paradox of Aquarius,
Okay.
which is the need for appartenance,
Connection, attachment.
finding that not attachment, but finding like validation and finding a group that validates you and feeling like you need to feel I can't remember the word, but
Yeah.
that need to find a group that represents you. So Aquarius is that, but also Aquarius is the rebel and shining through your uniqueness. So those two can be a paradox sometimes because let's say you really want to fit in a group, but at the same times you want to be yourself. You don't want to adopt certain behaviors, just want to feel accepted. I guess it's acceptance, our need for
Now
acceptance.
there's something else. It's like
Social
where you
acceptance.
belong, almost, with sense of belonging. With
Yeah, I think that's probably closer to what I was looking for. So that's the true paradox of Aquarius, and people who have strong Aquarius have that in their lives because naturally they feel very inclined to having friends, to being in different social groups, but at the same time the goal is for them to develop their uniqueness so that not to compromise on that in order to fit into a group. So that's also about the Leo Aquarius axis. Okay, next we're going to talk about a little bit of science, and we're going to ask the cards, can you name one area of science where we will see major advancements?
I'm so glad to have my cards because I know every time we play Trivial Pursuit and you say it's science, I will not have the answer.
So true.
Okay. So one area of science where we're going to have advancement. Okay, let's see. The first card is pause.
Okay.
So I think the first thing that we're going to be seeing, and the deck went over the other deck, and the card that just split is this one of just pause, basically, in this context. So it's basically, okay, we're having it. So
I kind of have an idea, but I'm going to let you first speak.
Yeah. Basically, what we're going to see, I think, in the first phase is that we're going to reveal that too much has been done in science in the wrong way. And we're going to reveal what has been done. And we're going to, maybe not all of it at first, of course, but we're going to reveal a lot. And then we're going to say, this is the wrong way to go. And we're going to start by stopping, gaining a kind of control over what is already done, establishing an order, even though it's not Capricorn, establishing an order of like, this is not our values. And then we're going to be able to start working at things that are making more sense for us.
So I'm guessing that one of the big themes here is DNA manipulation. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm guessing the cards are referring to the bad Atlantean timeline that we were going in when we were in the opposite era of going into the age of Leo. And with Atlantis, there were lots of DNA manipulation that led to a lot of unethical stuff. And we know that a lot of those practices apparently had been continuing, let's say, in the undergrounds and in a lot of places. So I guess what the cards have to say here is that we're going to know about those and we're going to put a stop to it first.
Yeah, but we don't even have to go that far. It can absolutely be this, not get me wrong, but even what we're trying to be doing with the food and the chemicals in the US, this is also part of it, where we're going to say, okay, so you have been using our technology and our money to do what exactly? Poison
us?
And we're going to just find ways to pause this, assess this, put an order in this. And this is like a kind of a retrograde in a way. and redoing it in a
That,
process.
that makes absolute sense, because whenever Pluto goes into one sign, and Aquarius rules science, by the way, it first deconstructs what is not working well.
Yeah.
So this is exactly, and a lot of people have thought that, oh, since Pluto will be in Aquarius, oh, it's going to be fast-paced innovations and new science and everything, like new experiments and everything. But that makes a lot more sense when you're saying that we're going to have to assess what has been going on and have like a huge transformation, which is what Pluto rules.
Yeah, because the cards are just screaming that we're going to realize that a ton of our money is going against us, and that we are paying researchers to go against us.
That's just mind-blowing if we think about it that way. So my next question was, and it's in line with what you're saying, will we be rediscovering true science without the involvement of corporative or governmental interests? So true experiments, true research without the corruption.
Not at first. Let's see further along. A lot has, it says yes, but it's going to be at the very end, I think, of the 20 years. I know, but this is how much we need
Corruption we have in the system right now.
Yeah, that's just the card that I'm having are all black and white. They're all black and white and very dark stuff. And the only one that is not black and white, I'm just going to show it to you. It's this one. You don't want this, even though it's orange. So basically, it's just showing us how much we need to clear and to deconstruct before we can start building again.
Crazy, but that makes so much sense. And if we look also at the weather, I don't want to pronounce the name, but the weather modification devices, and it's exactly what you're saying. It's that our money is going into research and funding of those projects and even agriculture and all that stuff to kill us, basically.
Yeah, we're still on YouTube, but yeah. And also for this, what you just said, and also to give more money to big companies who are selling the answer to this.
To create the problem and then create the answer. And why
we're
humanity in the way?
We're paying for creating the problems, but we're paying also for the
solutions.
Yeah.
Quotation marks, because those aren't really great.
Our dad, I think we're going to have to do like a book of what our dad used to say, because I'm using his sentence a lot. He's having fun watching us, but our dad used to say, like, I'm not going to take those meds because it's going to help one side and it's going to demolish the rest of my health. So why would I do it?
Yeah. It's so true. So true. Okay, next topic and last topic for this series of Pluto and Aquarius. We're going to talk about society, because Aquarius rules big groups of people, masses, the people, society. So it's going to affect for sure society as a structure, the distribution of power. Pluto is power. And when it's in Capricorn, it reinforces the top-down authority, the pyramidal structures of power. Whereas when usually, and we're going to ask the cards, but usually when it transfers to a more Aquarian archetype, this is more of a horizontal structure of power. But of course, I'm guessing from what we have so far, it's not going to happen on day one of the transit. But can we ask the cards, how will our political system change? Will we finally see true democracy?
Okay, the first card is this.
Again.
So the royalty card. And let's see what is the rest of it.
I feel like we've seen this card a lot in the series.
Yeah, so we have the fox, the cunning suspicion. We have the pyramid. So at the top of the pyramid, we do have the royalty. And it says exit. So the end of the monarchy is going to happen. And that's not the first time I'm seeing this. If you watch the others, this is not the first time I'm seeing this. It says,
And I guess it's also talking about constitutional monarchies, which are supposed to be democracies.
I think it's talking about a lot of different structures, but of course it's cream monarchy on top of it. But CEOs of big companies where it's a pyramid scheme, even though it's not showing up as it, government, anything that is in that kind of
where you have like the 1% who profits from the power, and exactly the card you just showed, the pyramid, and then you have the people who are struggling to feed themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think it was a Disney documentary where the people working at Disney full time were living in their car and were unable to feed themselves, even though they were full time, and some of them was working in the food in the Disney, and they were supposed to throw in the trash the food at the end of the day without eating. So that kind of stuff. Yeah. We have forgiveness, so those people are going to have, I think, a justice, something to pay to society. So karma or something legal, but they're going to ask for forgiveness either with their body or their soul. But yeah, it says mute. So I think it's going to be more karma wise. And it says protection authority. And the last card is canceled. The authority is canceled. We have the end of this kind of shape of power.
Well, last time we had Pluto in Aquarius was the French Revolution, who also dethroned the monarchy. And that was the first, well, if I'm not mistaken, the first republic of France that was being constructed under values of equality, fraternity, and that screams Aquarius, like those words. So we're kind of reliving that 2.0, if I can say.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about the education system. And we know that the education system, well, and I'm going to talk in America, I've heard that there's a lot of, let's say, changes that could be made to it. A lot of people have, of course, different opinions on the subject, but because also the kids are changing, the kids have different needs, and the system, the education system that has been built now is mostly built to create obedient workers that are going to fit in the capitalist society. So let's ask the cards, how will the schooling system change in Pluto in Aquarius?
So first of all, we're going to learn that most schools are being sponsored by pharmaceutical companies. Okay, so this is one thing. Very weird. Very weird. Okay.
It's the first time I hear this, but I'm not that surprised.
I'm still trying to figure out how it works, but I mean, now I'm thinking about the milk we were being given in the morning, and then the water that was probably very bad at school, and a lot of things. Yeah,
and they're sponsored, like, I believe, by also either like the big soft drinks company, either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
of course, there's a lot of the corporate industry involvement, so that doesn't surprise me that much.
Okay, so we do see that a woman will change it all. So I don't know if it's in the US or another country that is going to start something new, but we do have a woman changing the school system. So we have book as the first card, we have commitment, and we have the new journey of inner voice. I'm not, yeah, they're going to block the sponsor as the very first step. They're going to block it. Then we're going to destroy completely how it is being done.
And you know, like the vertical card makes me remind of like the mind control that you often got from this card. Just a note that I
Yeah.
Sure.
And it says instead we're going to have soul searching and inner voice. So I don't think the schools will be, it says no, the school will not be on the same kind of buildings, the same kind of schedule. Let me see. Yeah, it says we're not going to be forced to sit down at a desk all day. We're not. This is not going to happen to children. Okay. So that's the first thing. And it says that they're going to be able to go a little bit of everywhere, it says, in the city to learn from different places, different people. And it's just overall going to be more of a you learn skills with other places, other people. And it's like it takes a village in a sense. And are we going to see? We're not going to have the same classes. We're not going to see the classes that you had to learn, let's say algebra or some things. You're going to learn practical skills that are going to be taught to you by people around that are volunteering for this.
But also intuition from what I'm getting from the cards.
Also intuition. There's going to be a lot more in nature. There's going to be a lot more, of meditation and things like that. So it says that the air that you breathe when it's inside of a room where it's closed and you have 50 people sometimes in a room, it's really, really bad. Being sitting down all day, it's really, really bad. So all of those things are things of the past. I'm just intrigued at that thing of like people teaching, but it says that it's going to help everybody in society to be able to pass down your knowledge and to be able to teach people and to be able to share and just help them evolve.
And can we say that the new kids that are coming in with different psychic abilities, different level of sensibility, can we say that the education system will be more adapted to their high sensibility and psychic abilities that they're coming in with?
So we have the World, the Judgment, and the Six of Cups. They're absolutely. It's going to be, it's just those children are going to be able to, like I said, go from different people and different places, and just this is going to change a lot of how they see their own gift, how they see interaction with others, how they view themselves in different tasks, and how they view their potential. Where before, if you were not good at one thing, one way, you were feeling like you were the worst person and really, really stupid. But it's just going to help them grow and believe and a lot more of the 5D.
Yeah, because like I see a lot of those hypersensitive children around me that have like amazing emotional intelligence and amazing skills to help other people, other children. But they're, let's say they suck at math. And we know that a lot of our, let's say, day-to-day reality and jobs don't really use those skills. So poor children. And then they have like a low self-esteem because of that, because they think that they're not good and they're not intelligent enough, but like they have this other type of intelligence, which is like more developed than the majority of people. So that makes a lot of sense what you're saying. Okay. Will there be more people working for themselves in the Pluto and Aquarius era? Because Aquarius rules being more independent, being more freedom loving. So will we see more people working for themselves?
First card is the Capricorn. Yeah, people don't want this anymore at all. Where before this card of Capricorn energy, this card of I'm telling you what to do, And if you were, if your boss or with a company liked you, you felt like the best person in the world, it's giving you the card of the gigolo. Like you felt like you were somebody that could be paid for being funny or kind or whatever. It says that right now we don't want this anymore. We have rejection of the new generation and the red flag, and it says unconventional, and it says we're going to start companies more. We're going to, it's not maybe on your own for everybody. Yeah, collaborating. Yeah. You could work on your own, but it's basically going to be just what you want to create, and it's going to be more companies than smaller company than bigger company. The only thing is that when it starts, there's going to be a lot of big companies that are going to just go down. We have Extractor and the Betrayal. They're going to feel like they are betrayal. And it says they're going to try to promote people and give them incentive, but they're out. This is going my way. I'm done. I want my own stuff.
You know what? That's so interesting because like since 2020, that was like one of the big mysteries why workers were there were missing workers everywhere. Not missing in the sense that we don't know where they're gone, but like a lot of companies were having shortage of workers, and especially big companies. So can we ask the cards is that like the main reason why there was that shortage of workers? Is that because people wanted to feel more free and not like didn't, let's say, abide to the same rules as before?
Not really. It's talking more about people who didn't want certain jobs. Yes, in their sense, yes, it could be because they wanted to have more freedom and they didn't like their job, so they quit. So more corporate jobs. But a lot of people retired earlier because of it. So I don't know for every country, but here in Quebec, we do have more elderly than we do have workers. I think we have this problem of having
across the globe because of the baby boom.
Oh, yeah.
That we're all retiring sort of at the same time, or
yeah. So apparently that's mainly why.
Okay. But also the tendency of like wanting to feel more free, wanting to work on your own things has already started. And we can see like the big companies struggling already, and that's going to be a tendency from the years to come. Wow. Let us know, guys, if you enjoyed this show. Thank you so much, Sophie. That was an amazing one. Gives us so much guidance and also great ideas on where to invest our energy, what to create. And I think it's very, very uplifting. So thank you so much. And of course, if you would like a personal reading with Sophie, there's still the 1 hour tarot reading and also the 1 hour past lives reading if you are interested into asking your own questions to this fantastic oracle. And of course, don't forget Jupiter as your discount code to get 10% off. And we have this new one also. This is the pre-recorded 30-minute reading for your 2025 own personal predictions, and there is this 20% off special that is already on the website, and the link is down in the description box if you'd like to book. And that's going to be until December 31st only, so for the month of December. And before we go, I just wanted to share it with you. So we are here on Tuesday. This is the deep dive. Tomorrow, we're going to be live at 7 p.m. Eastern. The four of us, so the four girls, finally reunited after some traveling. So we are finally the four of us together. So this is going to be a very fun show. We're going to talk about the holidays, how to integrate more spirituality into the holidays. And also we're going to share about how we're going to do that this year. And we have many, many announcement promotions that we're going to launch at the same time. So stay tuned. I think it's going to be a really cool show. And of course, we're going to chat live with all of you. And on Thursday, we have the pick a card at noon from Sophie. At 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do the 5D news. So don't miss this one. It's going to be a fun one. And at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have the very last live course live class from Soul's Aura course if you were joining this course, so don't miss that. And of course, on Friday, we have the Galactic Show going live at 8 p.m. with a beautiful soul. So thank you so much, everybody. Please do make sure you hit the like button and you share this video maybe with people who would be uplifted by the content of this video. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, Sophie. And we'll see each other tomorrow on Wednesday and on Thursday. Bye, everybody.